crafty friends, it is Diane, the Creative Inkster, and today is Monday, July 31st. It's the last day of the month. And being a Monday, it's our night to have a creative escape together. Tonight is the night where I like to choose a card layout that's fairly simple, easy to follow, that you can duplicate at home with the supplies that you have. And so that's what we're going to do with this one here. Now the paper that I've chosen for this is from a pack called Delightfully Eclectic. It's a large pack of 48 sheets of various patterns here. And it has some beautiful different colors in it. They're all 12 by 12s that coordinate so beautifully together, but it's definitely 48 sheets. And hi Claire, thanks for popping in and joining us. And then of course your basic card base and just a few other simple details that I'm going to show you how to make this card. So we're going to make this exact one, and then I make another one with a different sentiment and different paper. So thank you so much for popping in and being here with me today, and please leave me a comment, let me know you're watching, and if you're watching the replay, I love to know that you were along for the ride. So the card base on this one is Night of Navy, and so that's the ink we're going to use. Usually when I'm making a card, I will go to the pattern paper if I'm using one and use that as my guide to choose all of my embellishments and cardstock and so on. So I'm going to take my Night of Navy card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. I've scored it in the middle here at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to fold away from the divot, and we will burnish it with the bone folder. All right, and then I often make my 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece that goes on the inside. I'll cut it ahead of time and just make sure that I have this ready to go, because it just makes using my cards so much easier if I've already got the white on the inside already placed when my card base is a dark color. All right, so there we go. We're all set to go. One of the advantages, by the way, to cutting your paper to 8.5 by 5.5 is your orientation can be this way, which is portrait, or this way, which is landscape. And so there's no need to worry about if you like cut it off in any other way. This will give you either orientation for your card. Now, what I'm going to tuck that aside. What we have here is 2 pieces of corresponding paper. They're from that same pack of Delightfully Eclectic, but they're not the mirror image or the back sides of one another. They just go nicely together. And what we're looking for on the one that's going to the back is just so that it has some of the colors, which this would do, and this, like, they all coordinate so well together. These pieces measure 4.5 across by 3 1/4 tall. And we're going to take some of this back piece though first. Now you may have noticed this on my card front, but I stamped directly on the pattern paper right there. So I punched this right out of my piece here. Now, I like this double oval punch, but you could use any punch, a circular punch, a square, whatever you have. And I'm going to slide this as far in as it'll go. All I need is the small edge all the way around to show behind this piece of paper. So I'm going to push this all the way in. I guess I could alternatively do it the same going this way. I'm just going to do it this way, and I am kind of looking to get a pretty version of the pattern in this oval here, because that's the piece I'm going to stamp on. And then I've got this scallop I can use for something else. All right, so no one's going to see the back of this, so why waste that extra paper when we can just do this? And no one is going to see it at all. Now, if you were putting it on a white card base, it is possible that the hole that you punched out might show through, so keep that in mind when you're doing it. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and add some adhesive to the back here, going on the top piece, the blue floral piece. And I got this idea from Brian King, who's a demonstrator in the United States. He had done this card layout months ago, might even be a couple of years ago. And I just saw it when I was going through looking for different things, and I thought, well, that would be a perfect layout to work with. When I go to put this down, well, first this is going to need to be burnished a little bit better, so it's a little more flat. When I'm going to put this down, it's the big piece, or the darker forefront piece, that I want to have landing fairly straight across in that way. I mean, you can do whatever you wish. I just was kind of going for that so that my line of this piece will line up fairly straight across the card base. So we'll glue this down. I could also pop this up on dimensionals if I wanted, but I'm going to glue this directly down into place. Hi Brenda, thanks for joining us. And there. Now we're not going to get too fussy about how straight it is, but I'm just kind of going for a little more of a straight look on this floral piece here. And does it have a right side up and down? You know, it really doesn't, because I thought it did, but these ones come around this way and then these ones come up this way. So I don't think there's a right side and a wrong side up. Now I have this other piece of Night of Navy that I want to punch this scallop from, because that's what I'm going to layer my other piece on. This is such a great punch, 2 in 1, and they layer so nicely together. So here is my pattern paper piece that I punched out of the center of the back, and we're going to use a greeting from Circle Sayings. I've been reaching for layering leaves so much lately, that's totally on my mind. But this has a really nice birthday on here. And when you have your stamp sets, what you may notice in the bottom corner where the item number is, it may say images at and a certain percentage. That's just to tell you that on the sheet that's covering here, those images are at, in this case, 85% of their actual size. And that's important, because I might go to this and go, oh yeah, totally it fits. And then when I go to actually use the stamp, find out that it's a little bit bigger. So let's find our happy birthday. Excuse me. All right, here we go. And we're going to use Night of Navy. Stamp right in there. Remember, when you're stamping, especially with photopolymer, you just need to lightly tap on your ink pad. Our ink pads are super juicy these days. Hi Val, thanks for popping in. And so you just need a light tap and then hold for 3 to 5 seconds on your paper, and that will help transfer the ink from the stamp to the paper. So I'm probably going to use that again, so I don't want to put it too far away. So there's my happy birthday. I'm going to layer this onto the scalloped oval, and then we're going to layer the rest of this card up, and we're going to be done in no time. And we'll go and do another one with different paper, a little outside my comfort zone, so kind of be using colors that I'm not as comfortable using. All right, so I chose this strip of corresponding bubble bath paper, which is just cardstock. I could have embossed it, I could stamp it, I could rough it up, I could do all kinds of different things to it in order to make it, you know, just any way different. I'm going to just put it straight down there, but just wanted to give you a couple of other ideas of what you could do. I'm going to keep it just basic. All right, so I'm just putting it about a ½ inch up. It's kind of an eyeball. So this is where I wanted my layer here to be somewhat straight. It's really now an optical illusion. It's hard to tell. And I'm going to pop this one up, though, our greeting, onto dimensionals. So grab a couple of those. And then all it needs is a little bit of embellishment from there. So we have in the pastel sequence pink, blue, and gold little self-adhesive sequins, and they're somewhat iridescent, that they kind of take on different colors. So every one of them is not exactly the same color. They're just pink tones. And I'm just going to put 3 on. I like to use 3. 3 is a nice number for embellishments. This guy. Put that one there. So I put them in a little bit different place than I did on my other one. They're here on this first card, and then they're here on this card. But there we go. A nice, quick, easy, embellished, and pretty card. So let's do a similar card layout with different colors. So we're not going to use Night of Navy, but we are going to use a blue. I toyed with, in my mind, would I go with blue or green? So hopefully I've made a good decision. So the paper I'm using is the same pack, Delightfully Eclectic. It's all from the same pack, but this paper has the petal pink, which you can sort of see on these little tiny flowers on this paper. That's petal pink as well. Petal pink and crushed curry. You know, crushed curry is not really my favorite color. It is a fall color, I find, for what I want to use, but I like to try and push myself a little bit to use other things. So I didn't get my white for this. That's okay. I can figure that out later. Oh, now I'm just looking at this because I had it in my head that this didn't quite look 5.5 inches long. And you know what? It's not. I guess cutting paper for this many years can help me notice when I have something in my hand that it's not exactly to 5.5. So let's grab another piece. Grab another full sheet of crushed curry, and we will cut this guy up and have it ready. So we're going to cut it in half on the long side at 5.5. There we go. And then we're going to score one side at 4.25. All right, and there we go. Now we have the proper size of a card base ready to go. Let's grab our bone folder, give it a nice crease, and then we're going to put our 2 pieces here together, and I'm going to have the nice pretty daisies. Now I did with this one cut the paper, now same with the last card, 4.5 by 3.25, but I did cut the paper in such a way that I'd have as many of the large daisies showing on it, because the paper has quite a bit of space. Before we do that, we want to punch our piece out. So slide this all the way in, and we can punch on there. The back of this, no, this one. The back of this paper is really pretty. Beautiful little tulips, and I have used this on other cards. But it's good to use the other side too. So we've got that piece left over for another time. Add some adhesive on this guy. And get that in place. We want to let a little bit of the pattern show through. There we go. And then we're going to get this one down here. We're going to try to get that to show as much evenly. I could say I'd grab my ruler if it was really bothering me. Let's see, that is a little more than half an inch. Okay, but as soon as I lift it up, it may not be exactly a half an inch again. Alrighty. Going. Get that position down. I'm going to wiggle it just a little because I think it's just a little bit not straight. There we go. Now, I cut ahead of time this 5/8 piece. It's 5/8 by the 4.5. So I did it in petal pink. And I did it in crushed curry because I wasn't sure which one I would like to put down on the card. What with this going down on top of, oh yeah, I did cut crushed curry for that. So let's punch that out and see what that looks like, and we'll just see which looks best. We'll grab a little petal pink and do the same thing. All right. So we can try the different ones out and see what might look the best. So we've got this on this, on this. Kind of gets washed out. We've got this, which I really kind of like, with this on this, and our greeting on there. Kind of like that. I'm kind of drawn to that. This, I know I don't give you a lot of time to respond, but this would be a great time to give me some feedback. Or this on this. Back to this. Does that do that one already? Oh, I kind of like that too. I don't know. I think that's where I'm landing. I think that's what I'm thinking. While you are getting a chance to give your comment, I'm going to do the stamping on this. And so this is where I came to look at these colors and go, do I want blue or do I want green or another color, maybe a gray? But I think I'm going to go with a blue. I'm going to go with Blueberry Bushel, a nice bright blue. And I'm going to do Happy Birthday because I was looking at my stash, and birthday cards are something that I'm a little bit low on. I have a lot of thank you cards, but birthdays I send a lot out too, so I need to get some more of those going. So that turned out fairly well. The Blueberry Bushel wasn't in color, and it's back in the main line now. Beautiful color. All right, no comment. I'm going to go in. All right, I'm going to glue this onto the petal pink, and I've got the leftover bits so I can always do it again with the other colors. So can you see different pattern papers in your stash that you could use this for? I really feel like this is a nice, simple, fun layout to work with. Next time I think I'll try and emboss this strip. It's 5/8 of an inch by 4.5, making a really nice edge. I tried it at 1 inch, at 3/4 of an inch, and then 1/2 inch. It really didn't turn my crank. But when I've got it this way, that 5/8 is just a perfect size. All right, looking for dimensionals. There they are. Add this on. Now you could put some ribbon on behind this if you like, or around an area. Sometimes I find I use a lot of embellishments, and other times I'm just looking for something a little simpler. So back to those pastel sequins, I think I will use the gold. And there's 2 sizes of these sequins. So I'm going to use the smaller ones. I think the gold is going to look pretty nice here in the center of these flowers. Whoop, come back. You're just jumping around. I'm going to put this one here. Here we go. So there we have it, another card. So there's our first one, done twice, and here's this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on my creative journey tonight. It was nice to craft with you, and I look forward to reading your comments and seeing you next time. Have a great night. Bye for now.